If I told you that the Australian government was offering a free $500 to your child's financial future, would you take it? Because that is exactly what the Australian government is doing right now, and most parents are walking straight past it. I've spent over 30 years helping everyday Australian families build financial security, and this is easily one of the most powerful yet underused strategies I've ever seen. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how a simple $1,000 contribution can literally turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars for your child's future. Every day I meet with parents who are worried about their children's financial future. They're worried that house prices are out of reach. They're worried that the cost of living is robbing their kids of the ability to save money. They're worried that their children will never experience a comfortable retirement. And it's so easy to feel like there's nothing meaningful that we can do to help them. But just imagine being able to sow some seeds to build the foundation so that our kids could have a strong, healthy retirement even before they finish school. In this video, I'm going to share with you how a simple little contribution plus some free money from the government can quietly set your children up for a strong, healthy retirement. And if after watching this video you would like to run the numbers yourself to work out what a difference your contributions could make to your child's financial future, then can I encourage you to check out the link in the description below to my co-contribution calculator. So let's get into it and have a look at how we can instantly turn $1,000 into $1,500 in our teens super fund and give their financial future a $300,000 head start. So let's have a look through the agenda. Firstly, we're going to look at the future value of $1,000. We're going to look at accessing free government money to help build our child's financial future. We're going to look at the realistic outcomes of this simple strategy. And then we're going to look at the importance of giving our daughters particularly a financial head start. And then we're going to wrap it up with a quick summary and recap. So let's start by looking at the future value of $1,000 invested today. If we were to take that $1,000, put it into our child's superannuation fund, and that fund is invested in, say, Australian shares or international shares, we could reasonably expect a return of around 9% per annum. Now, over the next 49 years, so let's say from age 16 through to age 65, that $1,000 would grow into $68,000, which is significant given that they haven't had to do anything to earn that money. So a small seed planted, but it gets better. There is a thing called the government co-contribution. Now, let me explain to you what this is. We can make an after-tax contribution to your teen super fund. Now, your teen can make this contribution as well, after-tax contribution to their super fund of $1,000. Now, for every $1 that you contribute, the government will co-contribute 50 cents. Now, they'll contribute up to a maximum of $500, which means that if we contribute $1,000, the government will contribute $500. Now, you can contribute less, and the government, so let's say if we contributed $500, the government would contribute $250. But if we can go the $1,000, well, why not? Because remember that $1,000 will become $68,000. And if we get the government to contribute $500, then that would mean we're investing, in fact, $1,500, which would mean that that would become $102,000 when we get to age 65. So this is an investment well worth making, and if the government is offering $500, why not take it? Now, of course, there are some rules around that, which I'll get to in just a moment, but I want to point out here that it can be the kids that contribute, or it can be the parents that contribute. It doesn't matter, as long as that $1,000 after tax ends up in the child's super fund each year. Okay, now what are the rules? Well, the rules are very simple, that if you are earning less than $47,488, so this is this financial year, the 25-26 financial year, then you will get the full $500. If, however, you're earning somewhere between $47,000 and 62, it gets scaled down, and then beyond 62, you are no longer eligible to receive any of that $500. So the reason that I said for our teens, because there's very few teens that are earning more than $47,000. Most of them have, at the age of 16, 17, 18, most of them have either part-time jobs or they're apprentices, and they're certainly not earning a whole lot from apprenticeship. My son's just completed one. So during these periods of their life where they're earning less than $47,000, it is a great thing to contribute that $1,000 and take the $500 that the government has on offer. Now, the thing that I want to point out here is that as soon as your child gets a job, ideally their employer is setting up a super fund for them. And from that age onward, you could start contributing that $1,000 to their super fund for them. So it could be, from 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, while they're at university, you could be contributing this $1,000. And in fact, just so that you know, this isn't just for kids. Anyone earning less than $47,000 can contribute money to their super fund after tax and receive the government co-contribution. I just think this is a particularly powerful strategy for parents when their teens are young because of that compound interest effect. So let's have a look at the long-term impact of this strategy. Let's just say that your son or your daughter, they start work at age 16. They're earning less than $47,000. You put $1,000 into the super fund for them. The government contributes $500, and then you do this for the next 4 years whilst they're finding their feet financially. They're doing their part-time work, finishing studies, and so on. That $1,500 that ultimately gets invested for them each year will, over the next 49 years, grow to be $361,000. So basically, a $4,000 investment on your behalf will become $361,000 for your child in 49 years' time. Now, I understand you're probably thinking, well, of course, inflation, etc., $361,000 won't be worth nearly as much as it is today. I can tell you, it will still be a significant head start for your child's financial future. And let's just say that you actually continue this strategy through their university years. And let's add another 2 years to this. So at age 20 and at age 21, then what would happen is that $6,000 investment you've made on your child's behalf will become over $500,000. That is a huge head start for your child for what is a reasonably insignificant sum of money to be invested up front. Now, don't get me wrong, $1,000 a year is a lot for many families. I totally understand that. But if we as parents are looking for a way to give our child some financial certainty through their lives, to help them get to retirement and go, yay, I have well and truly enough money there, then this is a very, very simple way to get them started. So one last thing that I want to share with you, as a father of 2 young adult daughters, this is something that really matters to me, and that is that superannuation gender gap. You can see, based on research done by the Australian Superannuation Fund Association in 2023, that men were retiring with $448,000, women with $392,000. Now, we all know that this is for reasons like women do unfortunately tend to earn less, they tend to do more part-time work, they take time off to care for our children, they take time off to care for their elderly parents, and typically they have an early retirement by a year or 2. All of this means that they are far more likely to find themselves on the poverty line when they hit their retirement years. Now, I certainly don't want that for my daughters. And so one of the easiest ways that we as parents can help our daughters overcome this gender gap is simply by making these contributions for them on their behalf early in life, so that compound interest can work its magic. There is no doubt in my mind that if during these 3 or 4 years where our kids are doing part-time jobs or at university, if we can find $1,000 or get them to make the $1,000 contribution to the super fund, that this gap will be negated completely. And in fact, they will end up retiring with more in their super funds than most men will at that point. So such a simple strategy to set our kids up for life. Now, one last thing that I need to clarify with you is that this strategy isn't just for teenagers. Now, I've been talking about it for teenagers and for young adults simply because of that compound interest effect over time and how we can plant this seed that can really set our children up for a strong financial future. But the reality is that there is no age limit on when you can do this. If you are earning less than $47,000, then you can contribute $1,000 today and the government will match it with $500. You don't even need to do anything. As long as you've got a tax file number which is recorded on your super fund, which will naturally just happen, then the government will see that there's been a $1,000 contribution and they will automatically match it with $500 once we get past the end of financial year. You do not need to do anything to receive this, and you don't even need to contribute this $1,000 in one lump sum. You could make an $83 a month contribution, making up to $1,000 over the course of the year. It's up to you how you do it, but it has to be pre-tax, and $1,000 will be matched by $500. You can also contribute less, and it will be matched at that 50%. So it is completely up to you. Understand though that once you earn over $47,000, the amount the government matches will gradually decrease until you get to $62,488, and then after that you are no longer eligible. So please take advantage of it if you've got the capacity, because the compound interest effect of your money plus government money can be significant. Now, if this has been helpful, can I please encourage you to click the like button, because that helps my videos, this content, to reach more people. And please subscribe, because every week I release more practical, no fluff money strategies to help you and your family thrive financially. So click the like, click the subscribe. So let's look at a very quick summary. We started by looking at the future value of $1,000, the power of compound interest over time. And the earlier in life we plant this seeds on behalf of our kids, the bigger the reward for them at the end. We looked at the government co-contribution, that $500 that the government wants to give your children so that they don't have to be supporting them in retirement. $500 with your $1,000 means $1,500 can be invested. If we look at this, $1,000 plus $500 over a 4-year period would grow to be a $360,000 head start for our kids. We also looked at the importance of using a strategy like this to help our daughters particularly get a head start in life. Now, don't get me wrong, I also have a son and I'd be doing the same strategy for him. But for our daughters, it is going to help them negate that gender gap that it occurs, unfortunately, in life, which means that our daughters will have a strong financial future too. So the last thing that I want to encourage you in is simply just to take action. It is so easy to watch a video or to hear about a strategy, go, yeah, great strategy, sounds like a good idea, and then to do nothing about it. If you've got kids who are earning less than $47,000 and they've got their first part-time jobs or they're at university, if you've got the capacity, make those contributions for them, put it into their super fund, see it as a seed, because it can make a huge difference to their financial future. But it's only going to happen if you take action. Thank you so much for watching this video. I genuinely hope that it's been helpful and that I've sold you on the idea of investing money in your child's financial future. And if you would like a copy of my co-contribution calculator, then please click on the link in the description below and you can download that today and have a play with it. And please remember that it is the little habits and strategies that you put in place today that can literally make $1 million difference to your future. Thank you again for watching. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.